Alright, good morning guys, what is going on? Today's vlog is going to be an install on actually lowering this guy. So you guys know how much I care about my fitment. I'm going to try to dial in as much as I can for the rear fender, but the front should be fine. It's just the rear that I'm going to be adjusting to make it lower. Just by probably like 2-3 inches. So I already started on a process. I'm going to show you guys what I did so far and then just go from there. Alright guys, so what I started doing here was removing the lower bolt for the shock, and the top you don't have to mess with, it's just the lower one. So what you have to do is pretty much use, let me show you on this side, you have to use a T45 bit Torx bit, and on the other side is actually a 3/4 nut, so you guys can see right here. So you just hold the wrench on that side and use a T45 on this side, and you're gonna have to jack the bike up a little bit to relieve pressure from this bolt coming out. So that's why you see me having a jack right there, just by a little bit. You don't need to jack it up too much. It's enough to where like the bolt is straight enough to come out. So that's what I did right here so far. I went ahead and took off this nut right here. I mean I just used a 13 mil, but I'm pretty sure you have to use a specific standard socket for that, whichever works, to be honest. But it's as loose as you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and start measuring from here to the floor just to see like what my stock height is, which I think it's gonna be a 24-inch. And then once I install the bracket, which is actually really easy, so it's gonna be this side, this part of the bracket going inwards, and it's gonna actually go right here. So it's just like that. And you can see where it lines up with the original mounting hole for the lower bolt of the shock. So it's going to take place of that, and then this part of the shock is now has 3 selections. So I believe this is a 1-inch, 2-inch, and 3-inch drop. So I'm gonna probably just go ballsy and go 3-inch first, just to see how it looks, and then match it on the left side of the bike. But it's really all you have to do. I mean, just throw the original nut back on here. Please make sure you guys, when you guys do this, that you have to put blue Loctite on this. Otherwise, with Harleys, you guys know how it is. It's a lot of vibration. A lot of nuts can get loose if you don't like give a proper like seal to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, mock it up, and show you guys how it looks. Okay, so this is actually kind of inaccurate because the bike is leaned right now to the left, but just to show you guys roughly like where it's standing at right now with height. So it's about almost 27, about 26.8 maybe from that part of the top shock bolt. So that should drop relatively, yeah, like I said, about 3 inches depending on what side of on which option of the hole on the bracket I choose to go. Alright, so with everything properly torqued to spec, so I did about 45 pounds on this guy, and this I just did it by hand, but this is probably like 17, 18 pounds. But yeah, everythit's on. Blue Loctite is applied. Bracket actually looks really clean. It's really nice CNC machined design of the bracket. Fitment's good so far. And what I'm gonna do now is pretty much bring this guy all the way to here. Probably gonna have to sit down or have someone like kind of just, I guess, yeah, sit down on the bike. That way I can bring this to be able to have it more out here. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that and show you guys the final height. Alright guys, well this side is all done and finished. I'm gonna go ahead and start on the left side. But it looks good. I had to replace this guy because the original one was just not working anymore, unfortunately, with the nut on the threads. This is all secured. I threw blue Loctite on there. I torqued it to 45 pounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on the left side and see how it looks. Alright, I went ahead and jacked up this side as well. I already disassembled the lower shock bolt for this guy, assembled the new bracket, already torqued it to spec, put blue Loctite on there as well. So it's all good to go. Now I'm gonna be able to have this right there, which it's cool because it's already set to the height that I want. Like I don't need to lower or jack up the jack to get the bike to be in the right place for this guy. So pretty convenient. I'm gonna go ahead and slap the side on, get it all done, and show you guys the end result. Alright guys, well it's all done. Looks so much better. It's probably kind of hard to tell on video the difference of the gap now, but it honestly looks so much better in stance. It's getting more and more to that bobber look, which is what I'm trying to go for. But to show you guys, it actually went down about like 3 inches, or at least close to 3 inches. So like, you guys remember it was almost to 27, right? Originally in the stock stance, but now it's to 24. So this does prove that the bracket is probably like a 1-inch increment. So this probably would have brought it down to like 26, and then this middle one's 25, and then now the one I'm at is 24. So really happy with how it looks, and I need to actually test it out on how it feels now that it's lower, but definitely much better. So now I'm probably gonna proceed to taking these guys out next for the next install and get like a LED, like a kind of a flexible LED bar strip that has both the, you know, like the brake lights and then the sequential for the signal lights as well. So gonna make it more of like that, like I said, like a bobber Tron style bike. I think the next thing also is the tires too. I actually do need to change them out because they're getting a little bit, actually they're getting pretty thin on traction. So I'm probably gonna upgrade to a thicker tire, because currently this is a 150, and I read on the forums that people can get away with a 180 without changing this to a chain. So I'm gonna probably do that. Just research a little bit more into it, but most likely get into a 180 to where it'll kind of just give it more of the gap. But I do see that it is getting really close. I don't know if you guys could see that. So I don't know, maybe I might have to do just a 160 for now, but we'll see when I get there. Alright guys, well that's pretty much it for the install. If you guys have any questions on what I did or the process of installing those brackets, please comment down below and I'll answer to your guys' questions. It really wasn't hard. It was probably a most like maybe like a 20 to 25 minute install. The only reason why it took a little bit longer for me is because I had to like actually go to Home Depot real quick and buy new bolts, and yeah, so it's just, that's just how it goes when you're changing out like old parts. As far as updates on the FD, I'm still waiting on a body kit from Japan. You guys already know how that goes. Luckily when it's done being made, I can airship it, so it's not going to be stuck on an ocean freight for God knows how long. But that's pretty much all I'm waiting on in the FD, and once that comes in, then the full conversion starts. Otherwise, I definitely will keep you guys updated on when that comes in and when that whole process starts. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys later, and I will keep you guys updated as always. See you.